What's up, y'all? It's popping in G. About to react to this vid by Fantastic Hip Hop. It's titled "The Complete History of Every Drake Beef." Drake has beef with so many people over the years, so many. So we're gonna see everybody lay it out in this vid. Let's watch.
In hip-hop, beefs between artists have always been an essential part of the culture. From the way they fuel the genre's competitive spirit to how they ignite heated discussions between fans, two rappers clashing at the height of their power is something that we expect to see at this point. Throughout his record-breaking and chart-topping career, no rapper has found themselves in as many beefs as Drake. From jealous rivals to hip-hop legends, Drake has been in the midst of all kinds of drama over the years, sometimes coming out on top and other times becoming the laughingstock of the rap world. Join us today as we embark on a captivating journey through the complete history of every Drake beef, showcasing everything from the most publicized feuds to the...
I would say Drake's greatest L was the one with Pusha T, and his greatest W was the one against Meek Mill.
Ones that we try not to remember. Let's waste no more time without further ado. Let's get right into it. The first beef we are going to be looking at is Drake versus Jay-Z, and while it may shock you to see Hov on this list, as he has worked with Drake a ton over the years, between their collaborations, the competitive attitude and cold-blooded mentality of Jay has clashed with Drake's ego quite a lot. Things first heated up between the two on DJ Khaled's I'm On One, when Drake said, "I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking, watch me take it," which was both a direct shot at Hov and Kanye West, who just released their joint album Watch the Throne at the time. Well, at this moment, Jay-Z let the music speak for itself. Drake added even more fuel to the fire when he said that rappers collecting art was corny, and this happened to be something Jay-Z was pouring millions into at the time, so in response, Hov did not hold anything back as he remixed We Made It and threw direct shots at Drake with the line, "Sorry, Miss Drizzy, for so much of the art talk, silly me rapping about stuff that I really bought," and this is when the beef really escalated. It is common knowledge that Jay-Z hardly ever name drops rappers, so you know that Drake really got under his skin for him to say this. The feud between these two continued as Drake sent more shots Jay's way on Summer 16, saying, "I used to want to be a Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay." And after Drake gave Jay-Z just one line on the pop style remix, Jay would fire even more shots at Drake on I Got the Keys. Sending the message that nobody can mess with Hov, well, unless you're Nas, Jay-Z would remix Drake's Know Yourself and KMT during the 444 tour in Toronto, and after this, tensions between the two have pretty much settled down, and it seems that their relationship has been more friendly than competitive since the late 2010s. With Drake and Jay-Z, their disses always seem to come from a more competitive place than a hostile one, but looking back on their Cold War, it is a reminder that you should never challenge Hov. The next beef we are going to be looking at is Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, and while at the beginning of their relationship, Drake helped Kendrick rise to prominence by bringing him on his Club Paradise tour alongside A$AP Rocky, and the two worked together on tracks like Poetic Justice and Effin' Problems, but as Kendrick and Drake became the faces of modern hip-hop, the two were pitted against each other, and they have never made amends since. It all began when Kendrick called out Drake and many other of the biggest and best MCs at the time on Big Sean's Control, and Drake quickly sent back some small shots on the song.
But that was friendly competition. Oh, that was an iconic song.
Lines, "I don't know why they're lying, but you..."
Well, sorry, let me... Kendrick gave an iconic verse.
Inspiring, and things continued to escalate from there.
Wait, what you say?
Lines, "I don't know why they are lying, but you ain't that inspiring," and things continued to escalate from there. Kendrick threw some major diss jokes during
your shit is not that inspiring.
In 2013 with the lines, "Nothing's been the same since they dropped Control," tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. From here, song after song, Kendrick and Drake continued to throw subliminals at one another, with Kendrick calling out Drake for ghostwriting on King Kunta, and then the two threw even more shots at one another on the records More Life and Damn in 2017. Beyond this point, people thought that Kendrick and Drake's tension seemed to have calmed down, as Drake was even in attendance at Kendrick Lamar's Big Steppers tour last year, but after Kendrick interpolated Drake's Sticky with his brand new track, The Hillbillies, and Drake on his tour right now just said this about artists taking a long time to drop.
"I don't know about these guys that go away 3, 4, 5 years, want to chill out, all that shit. That's not me."
Many think that this beef may be starting to heat up again, but who knows? Speaking of Drake's current tour, this brings us to Drake versus Childish Gambino, and while Gambino, who is also known as Donald Glover, may be seen as a modern Renaissance man for his musical acting and writing talents, he has always had something out for Drake, and nobody really knows why. It all started in 2014 when at a concert, Gambino freestyled this.
"All I do is do it inside, keep it inside. I'm the best rapper, definitely top 5. I say I cut the head off with that's every rapper's in That's Kendrick, that's Drake, that's Schoolboy, that's everyone."
A few months after this moment, when asked about his feelings towards Drake, Gambino said that he likes Drake, but since Aubrey is an actor and a rapper, he feels like Drake has overshadowed his name, which is kind of illogical. Drake with Jimmy Cooks on Degrassi. Gambino was in
Community,
Atlanta, played Lando Calrissian, and was in 2 different Spider-Man universes. You guys are clearly in different lanes when it comes to rapper actors, but beyond the point. In an interview this year, Gambino stated that his 2019 top charting and 4-time Grammy-winning song, This Is America, was originally supposed to be a Drake diss record. In response to years of this passive aggression and taunting from Gambino, Drake finally decided to take a shot back at him on his current It's a Blur tour. While performing headlines, you can see on the stage, he called This Is America the most overrated and over-awarded song. With Drake firing these shots direct in an arena of thousands at Gambino, the question is, will Gambino come back and start a full-fledged feud, or will he stay silent on this one? Speaking of full-fledged feuds, our next beef that we are looking at is Drake versus Meek Mill. Now, Drake's beef with Meek Mill marked one of the most significant moments in modern hip-hop history. It all started when Meek accused Drake of using a ghostwriter and said that he would have taken him off of their hit song Rico if he knew that Drake was not writing his own raps. While the claims Meek made about Drake were huge and really did damage his reputation to some hip-hop purists.
And you damaged the reputation of, what's his name? Quentin Miller. Why you ruin that boy's career?
Responded back hard with the song Charged Up, and after that, the near career-ending diss of Back to Back, which quickly became the anthem of defeat for Meek Mill. Its scathing lyrics and damaging quotables embarrassed Meek in front of the entire world. Looking back on the Drake vs. Meek Mill feud, it showcased Drake's ability to clap back under pressure, and it cemented himself as somebody you don't want to mess with unless you are the next person we are going to be looking at, Pusha T. The origins of Drake and Pusha T's beef can
wait. He had all those fucking memes playing in the back while he performed. That is petty. Peak level petty.
Back to subtle jabs and subliminal disses exchanged between the two in the early and mid-2010s, but the feud escalated dramatically with the final track on Pusha T's Daytona, Infrared, as Push called out Drake with bars like, "It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin," which referred to Quentin Miller, the ghostwriter who Meek Mill accused Drake of using all the way back in 2015. After Drake responded to the shots from Infrared with the formidable W freestyle, Push dropped a bomb on the hip-hop world with the story of Adidon. From the cover of the song, which featured Drake in blackface, to the lyrics which revealed to the world that Drake was hiding a child and was not being a present father, according to Push, this track was the ultimate moment of humility.
Why did little Drake catch them strays like that? He didn't have to do that. What's his son name? Adonis?
And embarrassment for Drake, and while you can't end an artist as big as Drake's career, this is surely the closest that anyone will come to doing so. While Pusha T was able to humiliate Drake, not many other rappers have, especially if your name is Joe Budden. As one of the most outspoken and controversial figures in hip-hop, there is no surprise that Budden has come at Drake plenty of times over the years, but the real question to look at is how much did Drake even care about what the biggest hater in hip-hop was saying about it? The tension between these two started when Budden called Drake's 2016 album Views uninspired and getting back at Joe. Drake would eventually release a snippet via French Montana's Instagram story of him interpolating the lines Pump It Up, which is a direct reference to the only hit that Joe Budden has ever had with the track Pump It Up. As soon as Budden saw this troll from Drake, his eyes lit up, and he dropped not one, but 2 entire diss records with Making a Murder Part 1 and Wake, but ultimately, Drake got the last laugh as when his collab with French Montana No Shopping dropped, he ended this whole feud with the line, "Pump, pump, pump it up, I'm not a one-hit wonder, they know all my stuff. You let me turn into the rapper you almost was," which just put Budden's chances of embarrassing Drake dead in the water. And this is not the only OG in the rap game Drake was able to shut down, as he also beefed with the one and only Common. Now, Common is a legend in the rap world, and he's one of the most important conscious rappers of all time, but he is also known for picking ill-advised battles with rappers, and when he released the track Sweet in 2011 and said the line, "Sing it all around me, man, la la la, you ain't Frank Sinatra," trying to mock Drake, he made one of the worst mistakes of his storied career. In 2012, Rick Ross dropped the track Stay Scheming, and in the coldest fashion possible, Drake destroyed Common, calling him out for being petty and bitter on one of the biggest hit songs of that year. Trying to gain back any ground, Common made a remix to Stay Scheming called Canada Dry, but at this point, he was dead in the water with this beef, and after this, it was clear that Drake was a force to reckon with, as he just defeated a true legend in the hip-hop world. By defeating Common in the eyes of the people, Drake sent a message to other rappers that while you may not like his style, you should respect him or expect the worst. While many older rappers eventually gained respect for Drake, when it came to OGs beefing with him, there was
Drake be almost looking for him.
Allegedly slapped Drake in 2014 for reasons that are unknown to this day. While the details on this confrontation are relatively unknown, this wouldn't be the first time that Diddy put his hands on a new age rapper, as he also got physical with Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole at the same time a year before.
J. Cole!
While there has never been any musical fireworks over this incident, as either rapper has yet to speak about it in any of their songs, Drake and Diddy did end up burying their differences on IG Live in 2020. As we look at another shortly-lived and strange beef on this list, we have Drake versus Ludacris. Tensions rose between these two in the year 2010 when Drake said that he perfected the art of the punchline, which is a skill synonymous with Ludacris, and when explaining how he did this, he directly quoted the man saying his bar, coming down the street like a parade, Macy's, to show what type of bad punchlines existed before Drake saved this writing technique in his own eyes. Once Luda got word of this, he responded to Drake with the track Bada Boom, where he called Drake softer than the Pillsbury Doughboy, which I guess kind of proves Drake's point because, God, that bar is not good. But beyond this, the beef never escalated, and Drake buried the hatchet with Luda at the 2017 Billboard Music Awards. One beef that nobody really ever talks about at this point is Drake versus Tyga, and despite being a part of Young Money Entertainment together, Tyga always envied Drake. According to people around the two, Tyga found Drake to be fake and only pretended to be friends with him because the label wanted them to. As Drake and Tyga began to build their respective solo careers, the two began throwing shade at one another through various disses and jabs, but once Tyga began dating Kylie Jenner, Drake, being the king of pettiness that he is, he posted up a picture with Kylie to troll Tyga, and then he put him in the grave on 6 p.m. in New York with the line, "You need to act your age and not your girl's age," which played on the fact that Kylie was a minor when Tyga began seeing her. All in all, it is safe to say with ease that Drake won this feud. As we look at another Drake beef fueled from bitterness, we have Kid Cudi versus Drake. Now, Drake and Cudi's beef is one that never exploded, but was always pretty tense. According to fellow Good Music signee Consequence, it all started when Kid Cudi allegedly called Drake corny at one of Kanye West's birthday parties. Now, Drake was never aware that Cudi was not a fan of him, and this is why you can see Drake in the music video for Cudi's track Pursuit of Happiness. Despite Cudi's bitterness towards Drake, things would not escalate between the two until Cudi tweeted in 2016 that both Kanye and Drake did not like him, and then similar to Meek Mill, pointed to the fact that Drake uses ghostwriters. In response to this, Drake threw shots at Cudi on his track Two Birds, One Stone, which he ended up receiving a lot of backlash for, as he made fun of Cudi's mental state. In the long run, Drake's insensitivity ended up sparking a larger conversation about mental health awareness within the hip-hop community, but fortunately, Drake and Cudi have made up now, as they teamed up on the track I Am Y2 off Drake's 2021 record CLB. As we finish looking at Kid Cudi and Drake's
but
beef,
I guess you
we look
could
at
say,
Drake's most complicated feud, which is, of course, with the one and only Kanye West. The dynamic between Drake and Kanye has oscillated between friendship and rivalry over the years. Since Drake's blown up, it seemed like him and Kanye have always been at odds. From Kanye directing and allegedly sabotaging Drake's first music video with Best I Ever Had to Drake calling out Ye for the throne on I'm On One, it seemed like these two were always at hedge against one another. Despite the odds they were at in the early 2010s, Ye and Drake were seen as friends again after Kanye performed with Drake at OVO Fest in 2013, and in 2015, Kanye said they were working on an entire collab album. From this point on, relations continued to sail smoothly until Kanye started ranting on stage during the St. Pablo tour and said that Drake's song with DJ Khaled for free was a lazy attempt at controlling the charts. While Drake didn't retaliate after Kanye said this, the beef would heat up in 2018 as Kanye West produced Pusha T's song Infrared, and right alongside Push, Ye became a direct target of Drake's Duppy freestyle, and Drake even accused Kanye of telling Push about the kid he had, which Ye ultimately denied. Things only heated up from here in the summer of 2018, as when Drake released Scorpion, the line from the song In My Feelings, Kiki, Do You Love Me, spurred rumors that Drake had slept with Kanye's wife, Kim Kardashian, and despite Drake saying that this was about a former lover and not Kim Kardashian, Kanye exploded on him, saying all of this. After this, tensions would settle down, and they would not rise again until 2021, where both rappers were rumored to drop their massive, anticipated albums, Donda and Certified Lover Boy, at the same time, and things went crazy from here. Kanye and Drake were going back and forth with insults, and Ye even doxed Drake. I mean, things got very out of hand. The tension these artists set up between them made the releases of Donda and Certified Lover Boy feel like a musical boxing match, and when these records came out just days apart from one another, the entire world was in a frenzy talking about what record was better. After the tension had shrunk down between these two, Jay Prince helped Kanye and Drake amend their differences, and they teamed up for the free Larry Hoover concert, and after a decade of back and forth pettiness, it seemed that these two were finally back to being friends again. Just as we finally thought peace was restored, Drake had to say, linking with the ops, I did that for Jay Prince on Circle Logo from his 2022
linking with the ops, bitch, I did that shit for Jay Prince.
All of the ups
bitch, I did that for the mom top.
It seems that the pair's feud is far from over. And while not a rapper, one of Drake's most iconic feuds was with Chris Brown, and it all started when they got into a physical fight over Rihanna at a New York City nightclub in 2012. Their teams were throwing liquor bottles across the club at one another, and Drake even told Chris Brown that he is sleeping with the love of his life. After years of debates and years of people pitting these two against each other, they would finally make up, releasing the smash hit No Guidance in 2019. So there you have it. There is every single Drake beef in his career. What we can take away from all of the beefs that Drake has been in is that when you are at the top in something, people are always going to come for you.
You are missing some. You for sure missing Weekend. There are other people I can't think of off the top of my head, but there are definitely others. I know there are others. Help me out, y'all, in the comments. There are definitely others. This is not the complete history at all. And this is a newer video, so it's not like, oh, this is old, so it's outdated. No. This is a new video, so he just ain't got all his tea. There's more tea out there, brother. Keep digging, and you can make another part. But yeah, Drake has definitely had, you know, his issues with people. And I definitely said that, oh, that's kind of fucked up when he mentioned Kid Cudi's like mental state or whatever. But you can also argue that, well, when it comes to rap, nothing's off limits. So I mean, that is kind of valid. It's kind of valid because yeah, it's like the lower the blow, the harder the line usually, and it's like, oh, it just make it hit that much harder. So honestly, I think all is fair when it comes to rapping. But I'm all for the beefs. please beef with some other people, Drake. Make rap more interesting because it's kind of dry right now. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.